Hi, this is Ron Nutter, and welcome to another video in the Pocket Troubleshooter series. Today we're going to talk about something that I think should be useful for everybody, and that's the tool set from the good folks at iFixit. I first learned about this one several years ago when I was listening a lot, and still do, to Leo LaPorte's podcast, and they were one of his early supporters and advertisers. And just as a side note, if you ever want to see a first-class studio, make the trip to Southern California, and you'll have to make reservations ahead of time because they have just a limited seating space. But he has a first-class studio. I've got to see behind the scenes, and it's amazing what they do with the equipment that's there. So, and you get to see some of the behind the scenes during the shows. Anyway, enough about that. I had seen the advertisement on his podcast network a while back, but at the time, I didn't really see a need for me to have something like that in my bag of tricks. And that changed recently, so I wanted to share what I've got to help others make a similar decision. And it's a very good fabric roll-up kit, and it's very compact for what it does. You've got an anti-static strap, which if you're not using one when you work on something, you probably should, especially if you're on a carpeted surface. This is a little suction cup, so if you're taking apart smartphones or tablets where you need to kind of pop up the glass screen when you've got it to that point, that's good to have. And these are different little pry tools that they've got with it. Now, under here is where you start seeing some of the more interesting tools. These are three electrostatic safety devices that will, when you go to working around electronics, you're not as likely to generate a static charge with those. If you need to maybe pry something apart, these are glass-filled little pry bars. And if you've heard anything about working with primarily the iPhones, you'll hear reference to something called the Spudger, and this is a metal version. So they used the first iteration of this kit, they had plastic ones, which typically wouldn't last that long, but this will last a lot longer for you. And now this is one tool, and I have used this one. I would love to know how it got its name. In time, I'll probably figure it out. This is called the Jime Tool. And I have used this to take a laptop apart, where carefully I got between the bottom shell and just under the area where the keyboard is, and just started working my way around and popping the little plastic latches that were in there until I was able to get the bottom totally off of the laptop. So that is very good. It doesn't damage, if you're using it carefully, it doesn't damage the device that you're working on. But this is the one that has really proved useful. And this is a redesign of the original kit. This one I got just a few weeks ago. It's a lid held together by magnets. You see the four corner magnets. There's no hinge to break, no clasp to break, and it lays right over here on the side. So when you're working on it, the lid, as you notice, you got these little ridges in it, are all the different pockets where you can put the different small screws or nuts or whatever you're taking out of the device you're working on. It's got 64 bits, including some of the new Y bits that's used on the latest generation of iPhone. There's nut drivers in here. There's the security Torx bits. There's the Phillips. There's the flat blade. And there's even some so small in here you almost can't see what they are. And now this would be more what I would call like the SIM removal tool. And all the spots are labeled in here. It's just that with the lighting I've got, you really can't see the different markings. But it's very easy to know when something is out of place. And some of these are tools that, let's face it, you're not going to be able to find in your electronics store, whether you're fortunate enough to have a Fry's or a Micro Center. It's simply probably not going to be there. But the screwdriver that they came up with is a very, it's a class screwdriver, very easy to work with. You can just put your finger right on there, and it's just a matter of you can work it either way, and it's very much response to finger tight pressure. So that's not going to be something you have to worry about over tightening something. And when you need an extension, or if you have a tight area to get into and you really just can't get into it with this screwdriver, you put this extension in, and then you put your bit down in here, and then as you're turning it, you can hold the shaft to get the exact position you want. But as you see, then this is going to turn back and forth. So it's very well built, and these are tools that the people at iFixit who actually have done all the teardown videos, this is what they use themselves. They've got a whole other series of videos that show you how to do teardowns of different devices. And this is, if you have somebody that you want to get a gift for, or you're your family's IT support person, or you do a little bit of this at work, or you've got friends who keep asking you for help to get something fixed, the iFixit Toolkit is you cannot go wrong with this. There are several ways you can buy it. You can go directly to the folks at iFixit. I looked at the cost because with them being on the West Coast, it was going to be almost a week me getting it. So what I went and did is I looked at what they were going to charge for second day air. I looked at what the price was on Amazon. Now, granted, the price on Amazon was a little bit higher until you factored in the shipping. And then because I have Amazon Prime, it actually became cheaper for me to get it from Amazon. And then I could have it within 2 days. So this is something that is very handy. You can't go wrong with it. There will be shortly after this video is uploaded to Facebook, there will be a affiliate link in the bottom. Full disclosure, I do make a commission on that. It will not raise or lower the price of what you're buying, but that money will help fund all the gear that I've been buying for the studio lately, and wanting to do a number one job on the videos for the upcoming book. And I'll be doing a whole series of product review videos. So thank you very much for your time, and please look forward to upcoming videos for the Pocket Troubleshooter book that will be out later this year. And then once that's out, I'll be doing some other review videos as well. Thank you very much for your time.